What is good, people? Interisti all around the world. Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. See some of you guys already in the chat, always live, always interacting already. Shouts out to you guys. I apologize in advance today if I'm speaking weird or if at any moment you see me making a weird face because my wisdom tooth is coming out. And yeah, it's a little bit painful. I don't know if I'm gonna have to get it removed or not, but yeah, it's been a painful day. So I probably won't keep this live stream too long because it's just talking is a little bit hurt. It does hurt a little bit, but thank you guys for joining me, man. I'm excited. The new season is upon us tomorrow, man. It's Inter are finally back. The boys, the ragazzi, are finally back on the pitch. The moment that we've been waiting for. I can't wait to get all this transfer talk out of the way, man. I like it to a certain extent, but there's too much, man. There's too much going on. Like this, how many strikers have we been linked with? I'm gonna compile a list after this transfer window is done, just to show you how many players were linked with Inter, and then show you how many seriously Inter tried, and then in the end how many we actually got. It's just too much. I prefer the football. I prefer the on-pitch stuff. I prefer the fans, all that stuff that goes on. I prefer the football. I don't care as much about the stuff outside of the pitch. And of course, you guys, man, you guys are always very important. You guys are the heart of the channel, the heart and soul of the channel. Interfan says he's excited for the season. Yes, sir. My guy Otlo, hey, oh shit, damn, my guy Otlo just became a member of the channel. Shouts out to you. Appreciate you very much, Otlo, man. Otlo also has been on the channel actually once. He came on for the post Scudetto celebrations when I was bringing on people from all over the place to celebrate with me the Scudetto party. I remember that was a nice week of just bringing on people just to talk their stuff, and it was fun. Yeah, let me know, Otlo, if you want to come on the channel again. Definitely need to bring you on again. Man of great footballing knowledge and great music taste. But yeah, Stefano Sensi, guys, let's just take a minute before we start. Let's create a prayer circle for Stefano Sensi. I don't care if you don't believe in the higher power or if you do believe. Let's just have one moment just to pray that this boy can stay fit this season. Stefano Sensi, man. The guy has been so unlucky with injuries for 2 seasons. The only time we really got to see Stefano Sensi at his level was the first 2 months of Antonio Conte's 2019-20 season. That August, September, early October period. The guy was probably the best player, not just the midfielder, the best player in Serie A. And then ever since then, it's been in and out, injuries here and there. It just never has worked out. But this summer, once again, the hype train is back on again because he hasn't got injured this summer somehow yet, anyway. And it looks like he will be starting tomorrow. But obviously, we'll get into that. But pray that our boy Stefano can actually, fulfill a season without. I'm not saying without getting injured, because it seems like injuries are part of him, but no serious injuries that kind of keeps him out for an extended period, which stops his momentum. So, man, let's get into it anyway. Who else is in the house? Freddie, my guy. Of course, he's always in there. Andrea Armani, what's up, bro? Daniel, buonasera. You need that warm salt water and baking soda. Ooh, is that one of those natural remedies? I might have to take a look at that. Our boy Sean is becoming wise. Yeah, maybe you guys gotta listen to me more now. I'm becoming wiser. Excited for 2-1 victory prediction season. Oh yeah, my prediction video was out yesterday. My Serie A prediction video. If you want to check that out. I was a little bit harsh with Inter, maybe, or a little bit not too positive anyway. But as I said in my video, I predicted us to finish third, but that's all hinging on what happens at the end of this transfer window. So if Beppe and Ozilio can bring us one more striker, or if they get Nahita Hernandez, and we'll talk about what Inzaghi said in his press conference as well, then I am confident about possibly even defending the title and securing the 20th title. Mission second star, as I've called it, and that's what we'll call a lot of the videos this coming season. And my videos will be called something relating to this mission second star, because it's still out there. I know that maybe things don't look as good, but I think I have confidence in this team defending the one star that we have, but then adding another star as well with Limone. Sensi Serie A MVP, inshallah, man. Oi, 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 oi! Don't get me gassed. You guys know I am on the Sensi hype train. Pray for Alexis too. Yeah, let's not forget the other. He should be just as much slandered as Sensi, to be honest, because this guy earns 7 million, and I don't feel like he's slandered as much as Sensi because he does get a few games here and there. Obviously, contributes goals and assists to Alexis, but the fact that he earns quadruple of what Sensi does, I believe, because he earns 7 million net, Alexis. He should be slandered a lot more. But yeah, let's hope Alexis can get himself fit as well. Got Ali in the house as well. Was harsh in the past about Sensi, but we need all of our players next season. Yeah, bro. I've seen Sensi. He's kind of opinion splitting player. A lot of people are like, just get rid of the guy. And I was leaning towards that as well this summer. It's like, how much chance can you really give him? But then at the end of the day, no one's going to take a gamble on the guy, so you might as well keep him. Inzaghi's conference was interesting. Yeah, I'll talk about that first. Definitely Sensi will be the GOAT. We need Thuram. We haven't heard about your thoughts on Thuram. Yeah, we'll talk about Thuram as well. But first, all signs we look for Sensi is married now and maybe a child this season. Yes, we know, Indra, great point. We know the key to Inter players taking that next step in their performance and their level is usually a child. We saw that with Brozovic. We saw that with Lautaro. We saw that with Barella when his third kid. Bastoni's got one on the way. Skriniar as well. So maybe Sensi getting married, settling down. That could be the reason. Not as much, going out and partying. Maybe, yeah, that could be the key. 25,000 fans would motivate the players more. Yeah, let's not forget, guys. The fans are back in the stadium tomorrow. San Siro will be a little bit emotional to see people, and we've got a friend of the channel, Mo, who will be going live with me after the match from the San Siro. He's promised me. So make sure you tune in tomorrow post-match because he will be at the San Siro. Mo, who's usually on Inter Worldwide, and he's got his own channel as well. He's in Milan right now. He called me earlier. He's gassed. He went to the Inter store, and yeah, he will be tuning in to give us his impression from the San Siro tomorrow. So make sure you guys, whatever happens tomorrow, we'll be tuning in live from the San Siro with Mo and giving our post-match reactions with Mo. And yeah, that's the thing about Sensi as well. We've seen trequartista, mezzala, and now even as a second striker, technically on the pitch, on paper, it puts him as a second striker, but he's kind of roaming all over the place. But very versatile player as well. Greetings from Slovakia. Wow, the Skriniar's ends. You're watching Saudi Arabia Serie A. I'm guessing. Do you mean like as in you using the stream that the Saudi Arabia, or do you mean the more like the actual Saudi league? Sorry, but we'll be disaster to count on Alexis at all. Yeah, but we have to, bro. Like if they're here, well, whatever you think about Alexis, Sensi, Vidal, Gagliardini, with what's happened this season, you have to. And we've seen last season, like you have to make use of your whole squad. You can't count out anyone. You have to. That's going to be the key to Inzaghi as well, making use of all the squad. So I know there's players out there that we're not all fans of, but we don't have to rely on them or to count on them. But at some point, there will be injuries, there will be suspensions, and you have to be able to count on some of these guys. Mo gonna interview some fans of the San Siro AFTV comedy style. No, it's gonna be just Mo. No AFTV style. Mo, Alexis, yeah, probably in terms of Mo probably gets less injuries than Alexis. No worries, bro. We're just getting started. We've been 9 minutes in, but we've just been kind of introing the video. But I'm gonna share my screen and get into Inzaghi's press conference. First pre-match press conference from Inzaghi, which was interesting, as usual, translated in English by Sempre Inter. I'm just going to take out the key points. So first of all, I want to say once again, like his first ever press conference at Inter, Inzaghi, I was impressed. Very calm, cool, collected, no moaning, as we keep saying. I'm impressed by the fact that he hasn't moaned yet. He's known for moaning a lot, but usually it's more about the referees and stuff rather than the management and directors like Conte was. So nothing, no bad words there from Inzaghi, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why he was brought in as well. You know, a lot lower salary, and he's going to moan a lot less with everything that's going on at Inter. I think that's probably what we need. We need a stabilizer right now. But yeah, he expressed how it will be beautiful and exciting to get back onto the San Siro pitch, and you know, the excitement and the emotion for the first 5 minutes, and then the emotions will pass. Talked about the goals as well. Of course, they asked him about, you know, what are you guys trying to defend the Scudetto, win the Scudetto, top four? What's the goal? What are the goals? And he says the goals are ambitious. I don't like making proclamations, but motivations will make the difference. And the guys have shown me they have a lot to give, so I'm confident. Which is, you know, it's true. It all depends on the players. Is, you know, a coach can only do so much. Are the players motivated enough to, you know, go out there and defend the Scudetto as we should? Obviously touched upon, you know, the Genoa, it will be difficult, blah, 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 the usual, you know, small talk. But some of the key things that I took out was, obviously, he talked about the players who left. Eriksen, major problem. But the one thing he said was the Lukaku unexpected sale. So, you know, some people are saying that the Lukaku thing was already planned. You know, the management already knew, but it seems like from Inzaghi's perspective, it really was unexpected. Which was, you know, I knew about that, but it was also interesting to see him kind of confirm it. And then they also asked him about the Lukaku thing, confirming pretty much what we would know now on the departure of Lukaku. So again, once again, he says it wasn't expected, it wasn't planned. Me, Marotta, Auxilio tried to convince him. As we know, it was, you know, it was above their pay grade in the end. And really and truly, Lukaku decided, and he said he came to me, Lukaku. He's courteous and principled person, as we know, very nice guy, which is why we all, you know, gravitated towards him and loved him so much. He told me that Chelsea was his dream, and that he had made the choice. And together with the directors, we tried to talk him out of it for a day and a half. But yeah, his choice was made. So there you go. That's confirmation of that, of what we've been saying for a while now. Yes, you can blame management, but are you really going to be able to keep a player who's decided that he wants to go to Chelsea? No, not really. We made the choice. We organized ourselves in the best way. Dzeko has arrived. And speaking of Dzeko, another key part of the press conference from Inzaghi. Where is it? He spoke on Dzeko, and he says, yeah, there it is. Strong replacement have come in, and Dzeko was my request after Lukaku's departure. And it seems like it's not inserted in there, but I heard him say it, that he would have requested Dzeko regardless of what happens to Lukaku. So just like Conte, he wanted Dzeko to come in to be, you know, play alongside alongside Lukaku, or be Lukaku's backup. And now obviously he's going to be pretty much, I guess, Lukaku's replacement. Said on Dumfries, he said he's very interesting. We'll need to settle in. We know that. Let's not panic, guys. If Dumfries doesn't play the first few games, we know what Italian coaches are like, but we know that, you know, coming in from the Eredivisie is a big step, is a big change, a lot more tactical, very different. So let's not panic if, you know, Dumfries isn't given that much time at the beginning. Let's not forget that Hakimi as well had to take a few benches and a few matches to learn how to settle in. So let's not panic yet. Spoke well on Di Marco as well, who's coming back after 2 seasons from Verona, which is nice to hear. What else did he say? Yeah, spoke more on Dzeko in terms of how he's a complete player. He brings other people into play. He's one of the best around. So I like the fact that, you know, how nicely he spoke about Dzeko. He's not just a backup option, you know, and he wanted Dzeko, and he really highly regards Dzeko because he played against him so many times, as he mentioned. Yeah, well, there was one more point where he talked about everyone's been training really well. He's had the team for 45 days now. So he's been able to really stamp his authority, I think, with the team. He didn't really want to talk about, you know, where the rankings are going to be the top 7. He says it's going to be clearly a top 7 like last year, and that's what I said in my preview as well. On the market, they tried to ask him about Thuram and striker, and he admitted, and this is key as well, that he wants one more striker. The team, we know, needs one more striker, but Inzaghi's asked for one more striker. He said it explicitly there that we need one more striker, and he's speaking to Marotta and Ausilio on a daily basis. So yeah, as I said in my Serie A preview, Marotta, Ausilio, it's up to you now to deliver Inzaghi that one more striker that he wants, which we'll talk about the rumors about Marcus Thuram and Correa and all the other guys as well. But yeah, impressed once again by the way Inzaghi is speaking. Nothing out there. Maybe they won't be as interesting, the press conferences, as Conte's. But Conte, especially in the second season, he became much more calm, much more. In the first season, he was a little bit more agitated, a little bit more the usual Conte. But in the second season, he calmed down a little bit after that meeting in the summer after the Europa League final. So it's gone like from Spalletti, who used to have the weirdest, longest press conferences, to Conte, who was kind of in the middle, and now Inzaghi is kind of like says the bare minimum, just gets by. He's not gonna cause any controversy really. So it's just something new to get used to, but that's the interesting aspect of having different managers. You get these different types of communication styles. Some are more open, some are more direct, some are a little bit more conservative, which is Inzaghi here. But I wouldn't say is a negative really. As long as he's communicating clearly with the players in the dressing room, that's all we care about really, isn't it? Does Inter still need to cut wages after Lukaku's big sale? No news about that. Makes me worry about new contract for Lautaro. Yes, the wage cuts are still a thing, because it was going to be between 15 and 20%. But getting rid of Hakimi, Lukaku, and Antonio Conte has helped that massively. There was someone who on Twitter he calculated actually. So for now, they're okay. But the fact that now Dzeko is going to come in, someone else is going to come in, Dumfries has come in, so the wages have gone, at the end of the market, they will have to make that 15-20% cut. So there still will be someone will need to leave, the likes of Valentino Lazaro, or is it Vidal, Alexis Sanchez, there will be some outgoing movement still, with Nainggolan leaving as well. I'm not sure exactly what the figure is, and they didn't say they will have to be exactly 15 or 20%, but that's their aim. So I think there will still be some outgoings on that factor. Simone used to work for Lotito, used to in the worst situation. Yeah, exactly. I know we're in a bad situation, but you guys, Lotito is very difficult to work with, and that's one of the reasons why in my Serie A prediction I said that Sarri Lotito. I don't know how that really is going to work. Zhang, he doesn't really have a daily or even a weekly. Probably has like a monthly contact with the team, if that, with Inzaghi. Probably like some sort of conference call here and there. His real daily contacts are Marotta and Ausilio, and in that case, two very calm characters who keep the environment in a steady way, not combustible like Lotito. So yeah, he's gonna enjoy himself working at Inter compared to Lazio. Lukaku pushed for it, as we know. Yeah, showing the world that they are more than just Lukaku orphans will be a big motivation for the players. Yeah, very good point there. Inzaghi talked about the motivation of the players. A lot of those guys will be, Lukaku, even in his goodbye letter, or his agent in his letter, almost made out as if Lukaku carried us to the title, which goals wise, assist wise is true, and presence wise, but it's just the team was made for Lukaku to that was the style of play, but it doesn't mean that these players can't achieve anything without Lukaku and Conte, and I think that is going to be a good motivating factor. So good point there, Matteo. Looks like the initial plan was getting Dzeko as backup for Lukaku. Yep, spot on. Holland, please tell Raiola it's your dream to play for Inter. Man, can he slag Gallia or something? Yeah, well, he's not slagging off anyone for now. But I don't think Inzaghi is really known to like single out players. Even at Lazio, when he had calamities like Patrick and some other players who dropped absolute clangers out there at Lazio, he never really singled out any players. Conte is known to if you do drop clangers to really single out players even in the media, but Inzaghi is kind of known to do it privately more than in the media. Otlo says, thoughts on Vidal's contributions this season? Can he still add value? Hey, you guys know I'm a Vidal fan, but he's definitely not that Arturo Vidal that we expected to come in, or I expected anyway. He's definitely on a downward spiral, but still, I hope last year at the beginning he was played in that position where even Brozovic was struggling when he played that 3-4-1-2, playing as one of the two behind Barella, whoever was playing in the CM position. It just wasn't working. That's not really his position. He needs to be the guy getting into the box because he's still really good at that. We saw that goal against Juve, and he got a lot of chances in the season as well. That he should have scored more goals. Against Roma, he had like a couple of bad misses. He's got that timing of runs, which is one of the things I keep saying that this team, this midfielders especially, don't really have. Barella can develop that. Gagliardini has a little bit of that. Vecino definitely has that. But Vidal really, really has that. When you look at Vidal's record over the last 10 years, there was one season Vidal at Juve where he scored like 18 goals. Crazy amount of goals for a midfielder. So he really has those goals in him. But you shouldn't expect him to do that box to box for 90 minutes. So I think with Vidal, you try to bring him on more as an impact substitute if you're trying to get a goal, but at the same time, with his discipline as well, we know the guy can be a bit iffy coming in, getting yellow cards or red cards. So just be a good figure in the dressing room as he was apparently last year within the dressing room, bringing that experience. And yeah, try to help out wherever possible, but try not to get sent off. That's the most important thing I want to ask from my guy, King Arturo. Actually, I'm surprised we didn't cut and we're still planning to get more players. Yeah, but as I said, guys, watch that final week of the transfer window is going to be crazy because, there's still a few guys that need to leave. Lazzaro is, if you go on the Inter website, actually, let me go and show you. Lazzaro doesn't even have a picture on the squad pictures, which is crazy. Actually, Alexis doesn't even have it, but I think it could be because Alexis hasn't been in to take the actual pictures or something because he's been out injured. You see here, everyone's got the pictures. Everyone's got the numbers. Actually, were announced. Di Marco's taking the 32. There's a few more other announcements. Yeah, look, you see Valentino Lazzaro here doesn't even have a picture. The poor guy. He's really being pushed out of the team. So he's definitely on the way out. Yeah, you see Alexis Sanchez doesn't have a picture yet, but I wouldn't look too much into that one. Colidio as well. Eddie Saucedo picked the 16, but he's probably going to leave as well. Satriano, there's talk of him going to Crotone. Apparently, that's almost a done deal, a Crotone loan deal, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I was hoping for like a foreign team, there were rumors of Bruges, how Esposito went to FC Basel. I would prefer a better leveled foreign team rather than a Serie B team because we've just seen like when these guys go to Serie B, it just seems like they come back even worse. Pinamonti keeping with his 99, but he's probably also going to leave as well. Who else? But yeah, apart from that, the squad should remain the same. Really, I don't think there's going to be anyone else leaving. Agume, Agume is definitely looks like he could be leaving on loan. There's rumors of some French clubs being interested, which was probably better. At least he'll get some play time. I would prefer him to play in Italy, but if he's not going to get play time, rather send him to France, where at least he'll be trusted. And then maybe even one of the other midfielders, because if there still is rumors of Nandes coming in, then we are too many midfield numbers wise. So someone in midfield might have to leave as well. But we also have to remember that Eriksen is probably not really part of the squad. They've included his picture from last season, I think, just as a kind of a little ode to him, like little honoring him. But Yeah, I'm not really counting Eriksen as part of the squad really this year. So yeah, and then obviously we need one more player coming in the strikers category. So we'll see what happens on that side. What should I talk about now, guys? Shall I go into the Genoa preview, or do you want to talk about Thuram? Let me know in the comments, because I can do either. We can go into Genoa preview, or we can go straight into the talking about some of the Thuram stuff, because you guys have been asking in my comment sections in my other videos as well. Even Pinamonti had a deal with Empoli for some time, but I think Marotta is cooking. Yeah. Pinamonti, I think he's probably going to go, but I think just because of the numbers wise right now, because Lautaro is out, Alexis is out, we're in a little bit of an emergency up front. So I think they'll wait towards the end of the transfer window to get Pinamonti out, just so they're not caught out, just numbers wise up front. But I think, yeah, he should leave as well, Pinamonti on their loan. Everyone's talking about, okay, Thuram, Drip King Thuram. All right. Why do Juventini hate Lilian Thuram? I'm not really sure. I think we've got RB Comps. If you're still here, RB Comps, you can answer that one. I'm not really sure if that's true. I thought Lilian Thuram is a Juventus legend, so I'm not really sure why they hate him. Pinamonti didn't only ready to Empoli because Inter are going to be without. Yeah, exactly. As I said, so they're keeping him in just in case. All right, let's get into my guy, the power of the Black Penta, Marcus Thuram, son of Lilian Thuram, 24 years of age, 4 caps for France, 31 million pound value according to Transfermarkt. The alternative to Joaquin Correa, Inzaghi wants Correa, but Lotito is playing hardball. And I think I've mentioned him in the past in my videos as well. And it's one of those, when we've talked about in the past, if you're going to replace Lautaro in that second striker position we used to talk about, one way you can mitigate that, or you can convert someone, I think the easiest way is someone who plays as a left winger and kind of bring him inside. And that's what I think the thinking is here. But with Thuram, yes, he is primarily a winger. Last season, he played 24 times as a winger, but he also played 14 times as a centre forward. So it's someone that's already, you're not really converting him into a forward. He's someone who's already used to playing as a forward. Goal record last season, not too bad. 1 goal every 4 games, 11 goals, 40 appearances, 12 assists. So, a goal involvement every 2 games, really, if you average it out. So not too bad. And looks pretty solid in terms of, physically, like no injuries I see there, apart from one there. The red card suspension. So he was suspended for 4 matches for spitting on someone, which is the one character, part that I'm unsure about. Is he that kind of character? Because I don't know him, that well. I tune into some Gladbach games. Obviously, they played against us and he looked good against us as well. But is he kind of a troublemaker or something? But apparently, from what I hear, that was kind of a one-off. He kind of, everyone can have one of those moments. He's still quite young. So I wouldn't look too much into that. So hopefully he's learned from that suspension as well. But yeah, like I would prefer, if you ask me personally, I would prefer Joaquin Correa because he's, Serie A proven already. And if it's specifically requested by Inzaghi, I feel like, with Inzaghi, we've taken players away from him now and we should give him a player that he wants. But you could do much worse than Marcus Thuram. Even the season before, he scored even more goals, 39 appearances, 14 goals, 9 assists. So he's got a decent record, and he seemed like he played even more as a striker in that season, more as a striker than even a left winger. So good profile, Marcus Thuram. The few worries I have with him, when you look at videos of him, and obviously, guys, you shouldn't judge a player by comps and videos and things like that. But what do we have really? That's the best way we can judge him. I remember when he played against us, he actually has the record for winning the most penalties in the Bundesliga since he joined. 6 penalties he's won in 2 seasons, which is quite good. And imagine if he went to AC Milan, this guy would be, their penalties go through the roof. But that's something that if you've been watching my channel for a while, we've been talking about adding someone that adds that bit of risk taking, especially in the box, someone that takes on players, someone that dribbles a little bit more. And that's the profile that Marcus Thuram adds. A little bit of a risk taker, a little bit of a, more of a dribbler, a little bit more creative, more of a winger than a striker. And then when you look at his underlying stats as well, it's not too bad when you compare him to when he's compared to wingers and attacking midfielders. He's ranking pretty well in the top 5 leagues in Europe. 0.38 goals per 90. His non-penalty XG is pretty good, 0.37. 2.79 shots per match. He shoots from pretty close up. Let's have a look at what his best stats are. So look at that. Yeah, penalty kicks won. As I said, he ranks really highly for penalty kicks won, and he's physically, he's 6'2" or 6'3" or something. So he's, compared to, you're not going to lose much if you compare to Lukaku. So athletically, physically speaking, he's a specimen. Wins a lot of aerials as well, 3.09, and 50% of those as well. So good aerial win percentage. What else? Dribbles. Where are the dribbles? So he is a dribbler, but he doesn't rank too well in the actual dribbles. Where are they? Well, it's quite low down actually for dribbles. So this is one of the little concerns I have. So 60% successful dribble, which is not too bad. But then what's his actual? Yeah, so 2 dribbles completed per 90, which is not too bad, but he's not really a serial dribbler, I would say. And he's not really ranking well in pressures and stuff. I've seen that I watched one of the videos, someone analyzing him. He's a little bit not lazy when he's pressing, but he's not really the most intense presser, especially when you compare him to Lautaro and things like that. 3.36 dribbles attempted as well. So yeah, ranks a little bit. He's a little bit less of a dribbler than actually I thought, looking at his stats, but it still adds more than we have currently. So that's already an improvement. And then some people are worried about. Let's see what you guys are saying. Like some people are worried about his numbers, because obviously when you go from Lautaro's 17 non-penalty goals last season, it's whoever's going to be the second striker seems like it's going to be a downgrade. But when you're looking at these players, when Correa, Jovic, or Thuram, you have to they're being signed for the potential as well. So they're not. If you sign like a Dzeko, you're signing for someone who's a guarantee. Duvan Zapata, you're guaranteeing hold up play, strength, and some form of amount of goals. But with these guys, you have to kind of look past the past performances, the past number of goals. You have to think that, can they take the next level? And we've seen with Inzaghi. You look at Keita Balde is a great example with Inzaghi, who had his best ever season under Inzaghi, scored like I believe it was 15-16 goals in Serie A that season before he left to go to Monaco. So he was able to take him to the next level. Immobile, scored his highest ever amount under Inzaghi, took him to the next level. Caicedo was never particularly that high scoring before, and he became quite a scorer. He failed with Murici, but with Murici, yeah, the material to work with wasn't particularly great. So with Thuram, I think they're seeing that potential of, yes, he's not the greatest goal scorer till now. He's got decent numbers, but can he take that next step in his career, in his performances? And I think he can. I see potential there with Marcus Thuram for sure. He's making the France national team squad, and those guys are stacked up front. So if he makes that squad, it's already testament to his talent, and Deschamps sees something in him. He's clearly already good in terms of creating chances, but Inzaghi maybe sees the potential for him to step up in terms of goal scoring, and I see that in him as well. And that's what Inter will be looking to get from him when they sign him. Improvement in that sense. So I'm a fan of the Marcus Thuram rumors. If I had to rank, I would prefer, as I said, I would prefer Joaquin Correa, just because Inzaghi wants him really bad. Correa wants to leave Lazio, and it looks like he wants to come to Inter, and he is an Interista, or he likes Inter. So those always nice factors to have for a player who's motivated to play for your team. He's a really classy, smooth dribbler, Correa. He's like one of the best in the league for sure. Adds that pace, adds that risk factor as well. And then second would be Thuram now, because of the price as well. They're talking about 25-30 million, which is currently Inter's budget. So he is within Inter's budget. His wages are not going to be exorbitant because he's coming from the Bundesliga. So there's no like Premier League tax or anything like that. He's not really proven himself yet. So he's not got that ego. I think he's still hungry to prove himself. And I think this is what we need now in this Inter team. You need guys that are ready to take that next step a little bit, not unproven, but looking to take that. They've proven at a certain level, but now looking to prove themselves at a higher level. And I think Thuram and Correa kind of fit that mold for me. So I would be happy if we get to sign Marcus Thuram, and that would change my prediction with Inter. It would take us, second in my prediction, or even challenging for first spot for sure. So what are you guys telling me about Marcus Thuram? Those were my quick thoughts on the whole Thuram thing. When do you think the deal for a striker will be done? I think it will be in the last week of the season. I think that's when the leverage is more for Inter to negotiate, and then it'll be more desperate as well, because Inzaghi will be pushing for Inter in the management to get him the striker. And then the Gladbach will have to sell at some point as well if Thuram starts to push for the move as well. It all depends on Lautaro's transition. Yeah, good point, Ahmad. It is a lot of inter-season, guys, is riding on this transition of taking Lautaro from second striker to becoming the main striker. Like even with when Dzeko will play, he won't play the same way that Lukaku plays. He likes to come a little bit deeper, Dzeko. So even when Dzeko plays, I think he still will be, the burden of the goal scoring will have to fall on Lautaro. And Dzeko does miss a lot of chances as well, as we've heard from Roma fans. But if you've watched him over the years as well, you know about Dzeko. Well, like Dorian says, her assist numbers are high, and I believe Limone will get more goals out of him. Yeah, I think that's the hope of bringing Thuram in, is taking him to the next level. And his assist numbers are looking good because he plays as a winger, because he likes to dribble, because he likes to take risks as well. I think he will fit in well in this team. The only worrying thing with him, once again, similarly to Dumfries, his touch or his running style, it looks a little bit funny and a little bit heavy at times. But once again, he is a physical specimen, and when you are that big and that muscular, sometimes your aesthetics can suffer a little bit. But he does look like a nice player with a bit of creativity as well. So Ramon says this season our midfield is gonna have to step up more goals. We've talked about how losing Lukaku and Hakimi's numbers, goal scoring numbers are gonna have to come from all over the place, especially the midfield. So I hope how is Thuram compared to Correa? Let me get Correa's numbers up. Actually, good question, Indro. Correa as well, actually, I think he's a little bit more in terms of dribbles and completed dribbles, but not that much more. He ranks really high in shot creating action. So he just takes a lot of shots or dribbles that end up creating a lot of shots. Let me compare him, actually. How do I? Because I'm sure it's got a comparison tool, this website. So if you wait, let me go back to Thuram, and where is the comparison? Yeah, I don't know how to do it there, but they have quite similar numbers, to be honest, which is funny because they probably have looked at this on the analytics. I think they probably have looked at it on an analytics way to see which players kind of rank similarly in terms of those kind of creative second striker dribblers, and they probably ended up on Marcus Thuram. It's clear that Inzaghi doesn't want someone like Lukaku. Yeah, I think it's clear to see that, we thought that maybe he wants that Zapata type of striker, which seems to be Inter's preference, but it looks like Inzaghi is happy to go with someone that's a little bit more of a second striker / winger. And once again, I'm not against that. Like, if that just makes our playing style will be different, but it doesn't mean it will be worse. And I'm sure it'll be more exciting and more interesting to watch, to be honest. Did Lautaro play as a main striker at Racing? I think he did. I'm not sure what position or what formation they played, but I'm pretty sure he used to play as a lone striker as well. And for Argentina, we've seen that he plays as a lone striker. When the transfer window does close, I think it's the 31st of August, I believe, or it might be a little bit later for Italy. I'm not sure. Some of them close at different times. I really like his potential on the counter. Yeah, that's the thing. With Lukaku and Dzeko coming in, you lose. A very good point, Freddie. We lose that counter-attacking threat we saw many times last year. Absorb some pressure, hit them on the break with Lukaku's pace. No one can really handle him. But with Dzeko coming in, you can't do that. Lautaro's pace is more on the short bursts of pace, short, small spaces. But with Thuram, you get someone that likes those open spaces and can give you that counter-attacking threat. So very good point. But I also see him struggling a little bit when there's, in Serie A, when the teams close up against us. I'm not sure if Gladbach are a big-ish team in Germany, but they're not one of the big teams like Dortmund and Bayern that do teams close up shop against them in the Bundesliga. I don't think they really do. Bundesliga teams in general don't really do that. So that's one of my concerns. If Thuram can adapt to, when those teams like, the likes of Salernitana and these teams will come up at the San Siro, 10 guys behind the ball, where you need to be a little bit more technical, a little bit more awake, a little quicker with your thought, with your processing. So that's the main concern I have. But yeah, if we play on the counter attack, which Inzaghi's Lazio played a lot on the counter attack, they've scored some really nice goals on the counter attack. So it all depends on what Inzaghi is looking to do. Who do you expect is most likely to join us? I think it's going to be, at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Thuram because Lotito's playing hardball. He's injected, so that liquidity index thing that they were struggling with, so they're not struggling with that anymore. He's injected 10 million, I think it was, into Lazio, so now they're okay. That's why they've announced all the new signings now. So I don't think they have to sell as much. So we kind of lose that leverage now. So I think Marcus Thuram will be the one coming in. I think Gladbach are open to sell as well, because he didn't start the first game this season as well. Yeah, I'm not sure, Ismaili. I'll have to double check on that one. Thuram makes sense in terms of transfer fee, resale value. Yeah, that's one thing people have been concerned about, signing Duvan Zapata, Dzeko. There's no resale value there. And if we are struggling, on a financial basis, you should try to think of it, financially as well. With, Marcus Thuram, you buy him for 25, 30 million. Even if he flops, you should be able to sell him for a similar amount at least. Thuram Senior was a beast physically. Yeah, Lilian Thuram was one of the physical specimens from the 80s and 90s. I think Marcus has his strong genetics. Yeah, of course, you see that. Could you please read my previous comments? Sorry, I missed out on your previous comments. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the keys now with Inzaghi. We've seen compared to Conte, this guy is very flexible with his formation, isn't he? And Thuram and Insigne would give you that. Insigne, I'm not really sure about the Insigne one now. I like Insigne as a player, very technical, one of the best Italian players of this past just generation for sure. He did well at Euro 2020, but we also see in Euro 2020 that he can be, marked out of a match quite easily, especially now that he's 30 years old. He was, he always had that burst of pace, but he doesn't seem to have that anymore. But technically, such a good player. I'm never gonna look down on a signing like, if you sign someone like Insigne, I'm never gonna be like, oh no, because I just like technical ballers, and Insigne is a technical baller. But then you're definitely looking to play more of like a 3-5-1-1 or a 3-6-1 or whatever you want to call it, where, you know, you have to let Insigne is going to roam all over the place. You can't really tie him down to a certain area. Last season he scored 18 goals including penalties, but that's a lot of goals for a left winger. So he does definitely add a goal threat, Insigne. But he would be, I don't know. I don't see that happening. I don't see Napoli letting him leave to a competitor for cheap. His wages are going to be expensive. It's going to be like, around about the Alexis wages, and it would mean it could only happen if Alexis leaves, because we won't be able to afford it otherwise. So I don't see Insigne coming in. And I would prefer more of a striker, the likes of Thuram or Correa coming in, to be honest. And if that's what Inzaghi wants, I want Inter to fulfill Inzaghi's wishes. Yeah, I think with Nandes, I've been saying since the start, it looks like it might not happen now, but I still feel like it might happen, because Nandes is, he's gone all out. He's put his balls on the table. He's not turned up for training with the Cagliari. He's not turned up to friendly, so he wants Inter really badly. I think we will go in for Nandes once again towards the end of the window, because then all the leverage is in Inter's power, in Inter's court to get that deal done. But I'm not really see where numerically really fits in, because we still would need to get rid of other midfielders with Nandes. So let's see what happens. With Correa, as I said, I think Lotito is just too hard to deal with at the moment. I think they will just go for Thuram. Yeah, as I said, Harry, Thuram coming in wearing number 21 like his dad. Yeah, I didn't know that's his number. That could be an option. Last year with Conte, our counter scheme, simple hit on the space for Hakimi Lukaku. Yep, that's when Conte ball was hitting real nice. Insigne live and die by his technical ability. Yeah, he's never depended on his pace. But it's just that, let's say you play with the Lautaro or Dzeko up front with Insigne. It's like, who's gonna come in behind? We need people that go in behind, and that's the thing with Thuram and Correa, someone that runs off the ball. All these guys like to have the ball on them, but we need also players that go off the ball. And Inzaghi likes that. Immobile, as we saw with Italy, he loves those runs in behind. So we need players that will run in behind and stretch defenses as well. We bring in, Insigne, these guys. They all love to, have the ball. They come towards the ball rather than going away from the ball and, creating spaces. So I'm all in. You guys know I love technical ballers. I would love to watch that type of team. Sensi, Insigne, Midget FC. Give me that. But thinking about it practically for Inzaghi's style of play as well, I would rather have at least a profile of a player that can go in behind, that can add a bit of physicality and pace as well, add something a little bit different. And yeah, as happened here, as I said, look what happened with the Arik Milik. There was rumors that he was going to go to Roma or Juventus, and this guy De Laurentiis literally put him out of the squad rather than sell him to Roma or Juventus. Like, he sold him out to Marseille, and Milik didn't play. Like, he literally was left out of the squad. So if you think Lotito's difficult, De Laurentiis is even a next step up. Like, this guy is petty as hell. So yeah, I don't see Insigne happening. He seems to get lean. Yeah, the Spalletti curse, that's true. Into training in San Siro. Ooh, nice. That'll be, I'm sure to have a look at the pictures. But yeah, let's move on to the Genoa, guys. I want to finish off with the Genoa, because I said I've got my wisdom tooth coming through. It's kind of hurting now. So I want to try to finish this stream in the hour mark. Actually, I want to talk about Javier Zanetti, what he said, actually, before we go into the Genoa talk. Javier Zanetti finally speaking out, man. My guy, his vice president role, it seems like he doesn't really have much power, the poor guy. it's almost like a kind of an image position, it seems like. But today, Javier Zanetti at an event spoke out and very clearly spoke out. He didn't hide from the fans, and he was very clear about the club situation and the prospect for the coming season. And he said, I cannot lie to Inter fans. And this is maybe a shot at someone. Maybe others do lie, but I don't. It will be a difficult season and complicated season. And this must be said to be fair towards everyone. But it also must be said that we will be competitive. Inzaghi is working well. I don't talk much. No shit. And I think my silence says a lot. Yeah, it serves to protect Inter, to focus on issues on the pitch. But I say one thing to the fans. Once again, we will give our all for the Nerazzurri shirt. So it's nice to finally hear from Zanetti. As he says, he knows himself that he doesn't speak out much. And it's probably because he's not really, I don't know if he's allowed to speak out. But we do want Zanetti to speak out and come out like this a little bit more often. He is still, I still view him as the capitano. He's still, the ambassador for this team. There's a reason why, for my channel membership, I've chosen to donate the first month pledges to his charity, because this guy represents something that, the brothers of the world, some of the values, the morals that, Inter stand for. People still look to Zanetti for that. And I appreciated him finally coming out. And yeah, maybe he was firing some shots at Lukaku, as Ziza says about the lying thing. I don't know. Maybe he was firing at Marotta or Zhang. I don't know. Maybe at no one. But the fact that, he's confirmed what we know. He's not said really anything that we don't know. That it's going to be a difficult season, complicated season. So let's not put too much expectation, as I've been saying to you guys. Don't put your expectations too high on these guys, because then you're just going to be disappointed. Let's start with your expectations a little bit lower, and then you can, anything above you be surprised, or you be pleased at least, because it is difficult. Inzaghi's coming into a very difficult period. And I can bet you when the season starts, the rumors of Suning selling or the buyers coming in will start. And that's always difficult when things like, if the transition starts, let's say a buyer comes in by December, January. Remember when Tohir came in, remember when Suning came in, the team starts to get distracted. Like, these things are very hard to deal with. This whole Lukaku Hakimi thing, Conte leaving, the Suning, things. These are difficult things to deal with, guys. It's not hard for the players and the staff to ignore these things. The papers writing all these things, which makes Inzaghi's job hard. And that's why Zanetti's come out and said that. It's not an excuse. But it's just the truth. But I do appreciate Zanetti coming out and saying that. Zanetti tend to not speak in this Mercato. Yeah, Zanetti usually doesn't speak about Mercato in general, because that's not his job. But from what I heard, that, he's really the link. He might be, as Mohammed says, he might be the guy who now, with Oriali leaving, who has to kind of take up that mantle, maybe between the staff, the players, and the management, be that middle guy now. Maybe he'll have to kind of change his role a little bit now with Oriali leaving. So we'll see. Ricardo coming in a little bit late, but we spoke about this already. I think Thuram now is the favorite. I think he's the most doable, because of the Lutito tax with Correa. Jovic, I think, is just a backup if nothing falls through, and Real Madrid will be probably willing to loan him out. And Nandes, the last week of the Mercato, let's see. I think they'll still try to get him, but we'll see. I think, in my opinion, Nandes and Thuram will come in by the end of the transfer window. But realistically, I think it might just be Thuram or a striker. A striker has to come in. Inzaghi said today he wants a striker. I think it's clear. I think we all know that we need a striker, so we'll see. Salcedo got a shirt number. Is that? Nah, I wouldn't look into that at all. Like, out of all the youth guys, Salcedo, at least Satriano was getting more minutes. But we'll see. It depends on the offer that he gets, but I've heard that Genoa are in for Salcedo, which is the team that we signed Salcedo from, actually. Even I think Hellas Verona were interested again. So yeah, I wouldn't hold out anything for Salcedo staying. He's really down in the pecking order. Tottenham fans have definitely decided to Tottenham have definitely decided to leave negotiations with Fernandes. According to Romano, yeah. We'll see. I don't think. Yeah, I think Nandes is kind of his heart is set on coming to Inter. You're awesome, Ricardo. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, that's my question really. I feel like numerically, numbers wise, we're okay in midfield now. Until we get rid of some dead wood, I don't really see where Nandes really fits in. But if we do manage to get rid of some dead wood, if Auxilio and Marotta do some miracles, get rid of Vidal, Sanchez, or Lazaro, Gagliardini, we'll see Agume as well, because Nandes can play a variety of roles in that midfield. We don't really have a vice Brozovic if Agume leaves. Sensi could play that role. We've seen Barella could play that role, but Nandes could play that role. It's not his ideal role, but it's a role that he could play. I don't want to see Gagliardini playing that role. So, he's a versatile player. But yeah, guys, I want to finish on a Genoa preview. We talked for almost an hour and we haven't even touched on Genoa. I'm so bad at keeping my plan because I just want to talk to you guys and never stick to my plan. So yeah, this is the predicted lineup, guys, for tomorrow. 6:30 Italian time, 5:30 UK time. I haven't decided yet if I'm doing a watch along. I'll decide tomorrow, depending on how this bloody wisdom tooth is feeling. But yeah, I'm happy with the lineup. We know the dealio, the defense, Handanovic, Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni. That is the bread and butter now. Brozovic, Barella, unmovables from last season. Hakan coming in now from taking over from Eriksen. Eyes will be on Hakan, especially closely. Perisic, as I said, he will be the starter for this season at the beginning anyway. But my prediction is that DiMarco slowly, like Perisic did last season, will take over from Perisic in that left wing back spot. Darmian for now will be the starting right wing back because Dumfries has just come in, hasn't really had a preseason with PSV either, so he physically needs to get up to speed as well. Inzaghi, I think Darmian will be the starter for the next few games, and I think Dumfries will be integrated slowly. Up front, Stefano Sensi, we did the prayer circle already, hoping that this guy doesn't get injured within the match, which often happens. He will be playing in behind Edin Dzeko, and we can look at it on more of a tactical level here. Nothing's much changed on paper from the 3-5-2, but you could say now, I don't want to be too anal about these things. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it 3-6-1 if you want. You can call it 3-5-2 if you still want. You can call it 3-5-1-1. I'm not going to be too strict about these things. So at the end of the day, there's not that much difference between these things. It's about the interpretation, and we'll see tomorrow how we interpret it. But how I saw it against Dynamo Kiev, Sensi, it was kind of a 3-5-1-1. He had the freedom to roam all over the place. The little magician coming in, picking up the ball from Brozovic or Chala. But also, as Inzaghi said, Hakan will also probably be, if needs be, he might also play in that role as well, and it might even be like more like a 3-4-2-1 at some point. We saw if Hakan comes up in there, it becomes more like a 3-4-2-1, or Sensi steps back and is Barella that comes in, and Dzeko likes to come deep and collect the ball, brings it down on his chest, heads it down, nods it down. It's a very fluid formation. It's definitely not like the 3-5-2 last year with Conte. We knew what the deal was with that. It was very much a 3-5-2. And then the build-up phase, it was like a 4-2-4. We saw with one of the wing backs coming in deep and one of them pushing up. We'll see how we build up now. Is it going to be the exact same way that we build up? We'll have to see how we build up. But yeah, the key, as we've mentioned, the midfielders, we need more goals from midfield. because the goal threat with Lautaro missing, with Lukaku being out, Hakimi being out, we need more goals from midfield. So I want to see Barella, Hakan trying to make the runs into the box, and Perisic and Darmian when they can, to try to provide in there, because Sensi's, he scored a goal in the last match as well, so hopefully he can start providing a little bit more as well. Dzeko, obviously we're expecting some goals from him as well, but don't be surprised if Dzeko is the one that's really providing the assists, because that's what, in his later stages of his career, he's become more of a advanced regista more than a goal scorer, really. But yeah, Dzeko also has the highest goal scoring season ever for Roma. I think it's 2016-17 where he scored 28 goals or something. So the guy can score goals, but I'm not expecting him to score more than 15, to be honest. And then obviously, substitute wise, if things are not going well, or if they are going well, I expect Dumfries to get some minutes and coming in. He's picked the number 2, coming in for Matteo Darmian if things are going well, with 2-0 up or 3-0 up, getting some minutes. Vecino as well. I'm expecting Vecino to have a much better season this year, to be honest. Injury ravaged past season, but I always say, he's one of the few that has that goal scoring contribution, that late run into the box, that heading ability as well, that Inzaghi likes from Milinkovic-Savic. So I expect Vecino to be the first substitute from the midfielders coming in. Di Marco as well, I think he will get some minutes as well. Satriano, if he stays, if he's not loaned out by tomorrow, I expect him to get some minutes as well, ahead of Pinamonti, because I feel like Satriano it would provide more than Pinamonti. And maybe we'll get to see Vidal as well. I think Gagliardini's still out injured. Lautaro is suspended. But I think Satriano may still have an injury as well. I'm not quite 100% sure on the team news there. And yeah, in terms of Genoa as well, obviously we're going to have to watch out for one of their players, Zinho van Huysden, guy who's been loaned out from Inter. My pick from my video of players to watch in Serie A for Genoa was Zinho. So definitely we got to watch out for him. The new keeper that they have, Sirigu now, I feel like it's a slight downgrade from Perin. Sirigu had a really bad year last year at Torino, but maybe he can redeem himself this year. And then, they've got Hernani coming in from Parma, who was one of the few standout players from Parma last season. Sturaro. Luckily, Conte's not here anymore because he probably tried to sign Sturaro. There's a guy called Cambiasso, left wing back for Genoa. Pretty sure he's not related to our Cambiasso because there's only one S, and they don't even have a picture for him. Sky Sports, a slack in there. Obviously, the evergreen Goran Pandev up front, man. This guy signed one more year, one more contract. Looked like he might even retired, but he says he's going for one last dance. Pandev, we always got to watch out for that potential ex-Inter player goal. That's always a tax that we always pay. Mattia Destro apparently is not in the squad. Surprisingly, apparently he's for sale. He had a bit of a surprisingly good season last year, Destro, but apparently he's not in the squad for tomorrow. Callon is in the squad. Apparently he's not related. He is from Sierra Leone, but he's not related to the former Inter player Callon. He's a 20-year-old who scored in the Coppa Italia a couple of days ago. Interesting talent, apparently 20 years old, so watch out for him for a surprise package. But yeah, not much to worry about there, in my opinion, from Genoa, to be honest. I know there's all this turmoil going on, but on paper, even without Lautaro, even without Dumfries integrated, I feel like this should be a good win. Not an easy win, but a solid win. I'm predicting a 2-0 victory, to be honest. What are you guys telling me? Hey man, yeah, G Just Juve, man. Shouts out to you and G Just Juve. Great friend of the channel. Check him out if you're looking to understand more of what's going on at the world of Juve. Good friend of the channel. Any update on Serie A TV? Yeah, apparently there was. I saw it. I don't know the name of the channel, but apparently it's been sorted now. The Canadian one is sorted on Fubo TV. So yeah, the last minute scrambles, but they are sorting it out, which is good to hear. Insurance is paying Eriksen's wages. True. Lukaku highest paid is gone, same as Raja. So we're okay in wages. Yeah. But then we also have Dzeko coming in, whoever's going to come in as well with Thuram or Correa. But yeah, we should be okay on wages, to be honest. So I think they've definitely met the sales target on outgoings, and I think wages-wise will be okay. Why don't we go for Ndombele? Hey, bro, if you follow me on Twitter for a while, if you know me, that's the kind of player I like. That's the type of midfielder I feel like we lacked. That's why I wanted the Paul and the Ndombele as well. When the Skriniar talk last year was going on, I was saying, this guy, ball carrying, dribbling midfielder, and this guy would kill it in the Serie A, but I don't see that happening. High wages, Spurs, they will want some sort of money as well. He'd be expensive. But one to keep an eye out on. I hope Marotta, Ozilio keeping an eye on the situation there, because Ndombele looks on the way out. And Daniel, good point. Otlo channel member says Perisic's experience in the UCL will be invaluable compared to DiMarco. Yeah, one thing, guys, I am on the DiMarco train. I am hoping and predicting that he'll become an important player by the end of the season, but I expect some mistakes from him. I expect some mistakes that lead to goals from DiMarco this season. And we have to forgive him for that. Ashley Young was at fault for 2 penalties last year. So you have to give some leeway to DiMarco to make some mistakes. Let's not forget Hakimi. There were a couple of mistakes in the Champions League. Remember that pass straight to Benzema that led to Real Madrid's goal. There was that Sassuolo match where he gifted the ball. And in general, there was a few matches here and there. So you have to give these guys a bit of leeway. And at some points, Perisic's experience. So don't moan when Perisic is starting too much, because there is a reason, really, isn't there, for if Inzaghi is starting the Perisic ahead of him. Not a bad team, all things considered. Yeah, I am not really that negative going into tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I'm excited. Why does no Lord Gagliardini? Okay, oh yeah, why suburban kid? I completely forgot about that. Gagliardini, the Genoa Sampdoria killer, is not playing tomorrow. It's going to be a big miss, but I think we should be all right. We should be all right. He's working. No worries, bro. No worries. No Gagliardini, Serie B. Here we go. Vecino wants out. We'll see. I think he'll have his. I think he'll have his chances. Our loan system is really shrewd. Buy them young, loan them out, sell them if they're not good enough for the squad. Yeah, it's good in terms of we managed to usually sell them and make a good plus valenza, but it's not really helping us in terms of first team players. But maybe DiMarco is finally going to be the change for that. It will be 7-0 if Gagliardini played true. Samir, Mr. Interworldwide in the house. What's up, bro? This will be the game of the midfielders, Sensi and Hakan scoring. Yeah, I'm predicting a Stefano Sensi goal, so I can go on the full Stefano Sensi hype train, and then he can get injured the match after, or get injured in the training in the week after. And then maybe a Matteo Darmian or a Perisic goal. I'm predicting one of the wing-backs scoring from a nice team goal where we get everyone involved and someone at the far post scores. So yeah, 2-0 for me. We've seen Esposito. Yeah, he's been impressing at Basel. He's been impressing, but let's wait and see. Because Swiss league is already, where would you rank it? Maybe not even top 10, maybe in leagues, top European leagues. And Basel are one of the better teams in that league, so they dominate play, and they're expected to beat most of the teams there. But yeah, if he continues at this path for Esposito, with Inzaghi, with Conte, he would be like useless. But with Inzaghi, with this different system, we find out that Esposito is definitely he's not really a striker per se. He's more like a second striker / creative player, which I think at the beginning maybe we thought he was a striker, or anyway Conte tried to play him as a out and out striker. But we've seen that he needs to be maybe drifting out, have a little bit more creativity. So he's definitely one to keep an eye out for sure. Perisic, Sanchez behind Dzeko, Lautaro is actually perfect for the system we used against Dinamo. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like with Inzaghi, we need someone that goes in behind as well. Shama was capping for Radu, but after the last friend he came rushing now. I'm not so sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. I am willing and wanting to give Radu a chance, but there must be a reason that Conte, there's a goalkeeping staff as well, and they must be saying to Conte like, I'm not sure this guy should be playing ahead of Handanovic. But with Inzaghi, I feel like he will get more chances. But we need to see, like, at least give us a reason. Like, if Radu messes up, then we can, cut his show and say, okay, this is why Handanovic always starts. But at least give Radu a chance, and then if he messes up, bro. Dzeko hype train, hat trick with the Bosnian. Hey, maybe a Dzeko debut goal as well. But I'm not predicting too many goals from Dzeko this season, honestly. Maybe from a corner or something. My worry is that we don't have a backup for De Vrij. Ranocchi isn't a football player. Hey, Khalid, that's what I used to think. But after Conte, he kind of fixed up, and in the middle of a 3, he's much better. When it was, with Spalletti in a 4, he was not good. But when he's in a 3, when he's got the protection of Skriniar or Bastoni next to him, he's fine. He's a decent, very serviceable player. So I wouldn't slander him that much when he's in this system. But yeah, guys, my wisdom tooth is really hurting now. It's been 1 hour and 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this preview. I'm so excited, man. I want to see the fans back at the San Siro. I think it's going to be around 29,000 people. Mo will be joining me tomorrow, post-match reaction on my channel. Guys, remember, he will be joining me. I'm hyped for that. Going to be really good post-match reaction. I think it's going to be a positive one. We are the first team to play tomorrow as well. We kick off Serie A, so I hope we don't embarrass ourselves in front. We'll be seeing this beautiful jersey as well in play. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see Inzaghi, Limone ball, first time officially on the pitch. I'm excited, man. You guys, make sure you leave a thumbs up, guys. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, if you're interested to become a member of the channel, whatever, the memberships are open and all that good stuff. But yeah, guys, Forza ragazzi, Forza Inter. Let's get that W. Let's get that second star mission going. Ciao.